Jeremiah and Lamentations. These two books were written by the prophet Jeremiah. Jeremiah was the last prophet to the country of Judah, and he preached during the reign of its last 5 kings. He was probably a teenager when God called him originally, maybe as young as 14 or 16, meaning his life was dedicated almost start to finish to being God's prophet. Jeremiah had an even more difficult time of it than usual. He was one of the most unpopular prophets among the Israelites because his message was so difficult to hear. At one point, his own hometown plotted to kill him. Because of how difficult his life was and how few people listened to him, he was called the Weeping Prophet. He was forbidden by God to marry and was not allowed to go to parties or have a family to support him. God used Jeremiah's life as an object lesson, something that Jeremiah himself did frequently, to show what was happening to Judah as they turned away from God. But Jeremiah's name means the Lord will set free. His name, like Isaiah's last week, reflects his message. Sin had corrupted Judah, but God would set it free when they said sorry for their sin. Jeremiah was the second of the major prophets. Remember, this doesn't mean they were more important, they just wrote longer books. The first one Jeremiah wrote, titled Jeremiah, was a collection of his prophecies, and organized by subject rather than being in order of time. The second book, Lamentations, is 5 poems written after Jerusalem finally fell, and the Israelites were taken into slavery, just as Jeremiah warned them they would be. He had warned them for 40 years. They refused to listen, and the consequences came. His grief must have been unimaginable. But Jeremiah knew that there was something more, that God could still set the Israelites free. Free from slavery, free from sin, and free to turn back to God.